Hi everybody, Caren from Bulila. Today I am with Pawel
Sikorsky.
Sikorsky and we're at their beautiful yurts at Cyprus where Lucky and I spent the weekend. And I wanted to talk to Pawel about how he created this place and what it means and what he wants it to mean for visitors. So tell us a little bit about the journey.
Wow, that's a big question. So it started back in I started the youth in 2013, but I think the journey started like way back, probably childhood.
Wow.
So that far back, basically back in 2013, or maybe a little bit earlier than that, I came up with this idea, or I've had this idea for quite a long time to create accommodation for people, a little bit like a sanctuary, where people could, reconnect with themselves and the nature, do it in a little bit of a quirky way. So we're looking at all different ways of accommodating people, tree houses and caves and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
It ended up being youths because they're portable, so they don't make such a big footprint, and also it's possible to move them around. At the beginning, I had no property to put them on,
Okay.
so the fact that they are portable, you can move them around. Not so much the ones that are built over here. I mean, they're pretty solid, right?
Yes.
But that was the idea right at the
Okay.
beginning, to have the flexibility of if it doesn't work. And anyway, it started as an experiment. And nobody knew which way it's gonna go. It turned out really great, so I'm grateful for it. But
So how many yurts do you have?
I have 3 yurts and then one wooden cabin that I called Koliba. It's kind of a Central and Eastern European word that goes through all kinds of languages, including Greek, actually, Kaliva. And so it's a wooden cabin,
Fantastic.
3 yurts and a wooden cabin.
And you're pretty fluent in Greek now, right?
Oh yeah, I try. Yeah, I've picked up quite a lot of language from
Fantastic.
the local community over here. They're always very patient and helpful with
Fantastic.
acquiring new words. So yes, I love it
Fantastic.
here.
You're doing better than I am.
I try. I
Yeah.
guess sometimes I have no choice. It's
Yes.
like you either learn it or there's no way to communicate,
Yes.
which is great. I think I always try to embrace local language wherever I go, and,
Yes.
and the culture. It's important to
Fantastic.
have more understanding towards each other.
And what do you want people to experience when they come to Yurts at Cyprus?
Um, I kind of leave it to the guests. I don't really have expectations, and I notice that people have different experiences. The more or less end up being the same. I mean, the fact that people suddenly discover that there is a starry sky above their heads, and they have a long list of plans of things to do in the area, and they end up doing pretty much nothing. As in, they just want to be like hang out
Yes.
with each other, or sometimes even by themselves, like yourself.
Yeah.
You come here and you have a nice time,
Yeah.
and then you kind of slow things down. You realize that a lot of it that we do in life is not always necessary. It's not important to have all the photos taken and see
Yeah.
all the sights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not that important, but there's also possible. It's available around here. Like you have endless possibilities of exploring the area and doing things out in the nature. But generally, the concept is less is more. So get rid of the clutter and keep it simple. The luxury is the space over here. So we have four rooms on 10,000 square meters. So
Wow.
that gives you a lot of space.
Yeah.
It all blends with the surrounding hills
Yeah.
as well. So there are no fences. We pet friendly. You bring your Lucky with
Yes.
you
My
every
Lucky
time.
is here.
He's happy. And pretty much I would say like most of our excess energy, except for the one that we spend on hosting people and just keeping the business going, like the most of my energy and the excess energy goes into into regeneration of the soil, and then boosting the biodiversity here. Planted. I don't know, I have to do a stock take. I think about 350, maybe coming to 400 trees. I mean,
Wow.
yesterday you asked me
Wow.
how many
Yeah.
carob trees I planted. I
Yes.
said, I don't know, 3 or 5, and then I started counting. Now actually it's 30.
Yes.
So it's
It's amazing.
yeah, maybe one day I'll sit down and count all the trees.
Yeah, that is one thing that's so amazing about this place is the fact that there are so many insects and birds. The bird life is amazing. And the insect, I mean, the bees, and you've got beehives
Oh yes,
as
yeah.
well.
Just started
Yes, there's
beekeeping,
so
so
much.
anything to enrich the environment.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
yeah, it's fantastic.
goes in that direction.
And what, so when people do come and they want to, get out and about, I saw that you've got e-bikes.
Yeah, we've got nice quality mountain bikes. They also have the e-bikes, bikes with a boost, so it gives you up to 60 kilometer range on the battery. For that you have to have a band that can
Yes.
support you for 60 kilometers. It's
Yes,
not the distance; it's the time that you're gonna sit on the
yes,
on the seat. But yes, we've got tons of bike tracks, bike trails, and walking trails that we
yes,
put on our website. This is all public domain. You can just go to YurtsinCyprus.com
yes.
and look
Beautiful.
it up and see the range of different activities over here, things that you can do.
Yeah.
There's also lots of beautiful villages around
Mm.
here, authentic. It's not so developed. This part of Cyprus,
Yeah.
not so touristy, right?
And the sea is about what? 15,
15
15
minutes,
minutes
yeah,
away?
15,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
maybe up to
really
20 if
close.
you're a slow
Yeah.
driver, because there are a couple of scenic routes to get to the beach, so
Okay.
you can take it slower if you want to. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's not far, but this area here is very rural.
Mm.
There's loads of fields, orchards, groves, all being well maintained. It looks beautiful. A lot of people like this is. This is the line that I hear all the time from people coming from all over the world, and Cypriots as well. People look at this valley and they say this is like Tuscany.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, I've
Yes.
never actually been to Tuscany, but I hear
It
it
is. Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
So it's
It
it's
is.
it's interesting.
It is.
I mean, it is Cyprus. I mean, I sometimes I think like why comparing it to another country? It's just a very very beautiful,
Mm.
authentic part of Cyprus.
Yeah.
I love it here. It's
It is.
gorgeous.
It's beautiful. When I come down the valley to cross the river and come up to the yurts, it's almost like an exhale.
Mm,
It's you just wonderful
mm.
because it's so calm and so beautiful. So definitely,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And the
yeah,
road kind of ends, the asphalt ends a few hundred meters
yes,
from here, and then going easterly, from the property, it's just fields, and
yes,
then the mountains and the forest.
yeah.
So we're like right on the edge of the
It is. It's
civilization, right?
beautiful, so beautiful. And these terraces, I'm
Hmm.
I'm always amazed. You built all of these yourself, right?
Yes,
I
yeah,
mean, it
it's.
is phenomenal,
Mm,
Pavel, the work that you put into this place. Because
well,
when you bought it,
hmm
just explain to us, I mean, it was just a slope.
well, at first I was first renting the property for a few years. Like I said, it was a big experiment at the beginning. Then the opportunity came up to own the place. But before I bought it, I already started building dry
Okay.
stone walls. I just got kind of mad with this, and some people think that that's my obsession. It's an obsession that always gets, it has a physical limitation. Obviously, you cannot do it too long because it's really really tough work.
Hmm.
But I love it. Really, it drives me. It drives me. It keeps me motivated. The fact that building these dry stone walls has so many positive aspects
Hmm.
for the environment and for water conservation.
Yes.
So it's one of the thing is that you sink the water, so you build these levels. These leveled parts of land. It is a very steep piece of land.
Yes. Yes.
But with these stone walls, you basically build these terraces that are good for planting.
Yeah.
You sink the water in so it stays in the ground. Keep the nutrients, soil nutrients in the ground. They don't get washed away. They end up down the hill, maybe in the reservoir
Yeah.
or in the sea. And what else? It provides huge accommodation for wildlife.
Yeah.
So, microorganisms, insects, small mammals like mice, reptiles, snakes,
Skinks. Yeah.
all kinds
Loads
of
of
things.
skinks. Yeah.
And that obviously attracts predators, and everybody's happy. There's food
Yeah.
for everyone, and things are going. But the other great thing is that whenever you plant, whatever you plant on top of these walls, uh, it pretty much grows. I discovered it grows almost twice as fast as
Wow.
anywhere else, because the plants, especially trees, with the roots, they also absorb CO2 through the roots, not just through the foliage.
Right.
So you end up like watching this, really really fast growth
Wow.
in trees. So
Amazing.
yeah, it has so many great aspects,
Yeah.
and it makes the land look beautiful as well.
Yeah.
It has this aesthetic um, part of it, and it's a natural building material. It's freely available. I mean, the
Yeah.
farmers love that. I pick the rocks from the fields. They're like, please just take it. Like, this is my nightmare. So
Yes.
yeah, for me it's a dream. For them it's a nightmare. So
Yeah.
whenever I see rocks lying around, like, oh, these
You
look
pick up.
great. Yeah.
That's
So
fantastic.
yeah,
That's fantastic.
any rocks are welcome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we know that Justina, Pawel's partner, does pottery workshops here at Yurts at Cyprus. And she did the soap dish and the flower bud vase for our photo shoot. So if you have a look on our website, you'll see those. She's unfortunately ill today. So Pavel and I are taking a moment just to have a quiet chat.
Yes, and lucky.
And lucky,
Yes,
of
he's here.
course. Pavel, if you could say anything or tell people anything about YurtsinCyprus, what would that be?
To me, and what I see in the visitors, it's a place where you can really truly relax, and be close to the nature, spend quality time with yourselves, with your loved ones, family, friends. You do have to remember that you come to the nature. I mean, I had some people surprised that they can find insects over here. It's a great thing for us. Um, so always have to remember that you
Yeah,
come into the
yeah,
to the wild. We try to keep it as natural as possible, but
yeah,
yeah, for me, it is like a sanctuary, I would
yeah.
say. Where you can really sit down and think about yourself, and also can have a very very active. I mean, I have
Yes.
customers who spend the time in a very active way. Sometimes I get exhausted looking at them, watching listening to the plans for each day. But there's endless possibilities over here. You just need to have an open mind
Yeah,
and be open to experience.
yeah. We were talking this morning.
Mhm.
I just thought we should mention this. These yurts are proper Mongolian yurts, and they're so beautiful. Um, I'll post some photographs after this video as well. But we were talking about how they're so cleverly designed by the Mongolians to get rid of hot air and to keep these. So just explain to us how that works.
Sure. So the yurt has a round shape. Obviously, the circular structures adds to the beauty and the fact that people feel really comfortable inside. I think it's also due to the architecture, to the
Yeah,
geometry, and they have a cover right in the center on the top of the yurt that you can open or keep it closed. It depends how you want to control the temperature. And for during hotter months, we keep that cover opened permanently. Like in a weather like today, like keep it open during the day, but definitely have to close it for the night. Now you slept with the cover
I sleep
open.
with
Yeah,
mine open.
you're a tough one. Okay, you're a toughie. Yeah, for me it would be too cold. But basically, in the summer, you just keep the covers open completely, and all the hot air rises and gets up to the top. Basically, it's like a flue.
Yeah,
like a chimney flue. So anything that is hot just
Yeah,
gets out
hot
to the
air
top, hot
rises
air
and
rises,
yeah.
and brings cooler through the door, and that creates a constant air circulation. When we check people in July and August, we tell them where their covers are. If they get cold in the morning, they always think that we're crazy. It's impossible because check people in the afternoon when there's like over 30 degrees,
Yeah.
maybe 35, sometimes maybe even hotter. So it doesn't sound too good. Putting covers on top of yourself. But then the temperature drops here quite a lot. There is some kind of a microclimate going on here with the nearby reservoir and the river, the ancient
Yes.
riverbed. So the temperature cools down quite a lot, sometimes down to 20, in the summer. During heat waves, usually it's like 25. But
That's
when you keep
amazing.
the tops open in the yurt, it actually drops the temperature
Yeah.
inside because of the air circulation.
Yes.
So the real fuel is always 2-3 degrees less. So
Okay.
if it's 20 in the night or towards the morning, then inside it feels like 18, which is
Yes.
actually pretty cold in the summer.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
I guess, tell
That's
me when they come
brilliant.
for breakfast, they wake up, they look for socks, pajamas. They don't find any of that, in the luggage because you don't bring it in July and August, just flip
Yes.
flops and shorts.
Yes.
So yeah,
Fantastic.
they end up finding the rescue in the blankets or
Yeah.
duvets.
Brilliant. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. Um, Lucky and I walked this morning early, and it was really very chilly down at the river. There's a beautiful old bridge on the
Mm-hmm.
other side, Scarfos Bridge, and there also
Yes.
these Scarfos Mills. Just
Mm-hmm.
can you tell us a little bit about that,
Sure,
if you
sure.
don't mind?
Well, the ruins of the I find it's the oldest Venetian bridge in Cyprus from 1620. So there were routes that connected the coast with the mountains. But actually, basically, Venetians were quite industrial, and they were exploring the insides of the island for minerals,
Yes,
for all
copper.
kinds of
Yeah.
copper. Yeah, sure. And then I guess you find some olive groves like way inland, like in places that you normally wouldn't go to. So along the trail to the mountains, they're also setting up some places with now with ancient olive trees like a few hundred years old.
Yes.
So I think all these minerals and also food produce would just travel to the coast through. There is a whole network of Venetian bridges
Yes.
in Cyprus.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
they're
I've
gorgeous.
walked quite a few of them. They are absolutely amazing.
Yes, yeah.
It really transports you back into time when you walk
Mm,
across these bridges, and
yeah.
the fact that they're still standing after all these centuries
Yes.
is just
Mm.
something.
Well, this one got repaired because it was in a really bad state.
Okay.
It got repaired. One of my neighbors, Panayotis Klovulu, he was actively with his sisters, with his family, writing letters to all kinds of authorities to take care of this bridge because it was really about to collapse.
Okay.
So it got fixed a few years ago. This river that looks like nothing right now, in a wet winter, it
Yes.
flows with so much water. It's unbelievable. It doesn't sometimes doesn't fit in the riverbed. It just
Yes.
makes another, the water corridor makes another one somewhere through the fields. Obviously not this winter because
Yeah. We're in a
it's very
severe
dry.
drought, so
Yeah.
I keep telling people about the severe drought that we're in,
Mm.
but it really is very severe this year. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well. All right. Well,
Yeah, I guess we could talk forever
we
about
could
this
talk
place.
forever,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
Pavel's got work to do
Yeah.
because Justina is off
Oh, I
sick
think also
today.
the other thing that is really important to
Yeah.
mention that we are off grid, so this place is
Yes.
completely independent in
Yes.
water and electricity, not energy, because electricity is one thing, energy is something else.
Yeah.
Electricity is part of your energy consumption,
Yeah.
but when it comes to electricity, yeah, we're completely independent. Water as well, we have a water well that's pumped with water gets
Fantastic.
pumped with solar pump. Conserve the water as much as we can. So we have all kinds of ways to make sure that we don't use excess water, and,
Amazing.
and whatever we can gets stored in the ground.
Amazing. Amazing. So if you want to be off-grid, you want to come for a really relaxing or a really active mountain biking, hiking weekend, I highly recommend YurtsinCyprus. It is, I did nothing this weekend. Lucky and I just rested, and it is so peaceful and so wonderful, and they make the most amazing vegetarian and vegan breakfasts. I always end up eating too much. And I love my chats with Justina and Pawel. They've become such good friends, and I absolutely adore both of you. So thank you very much for taking this time with us.
Nice talking
and
with you.
always being so welcoming to Lucky. And we love you guys, and yeah, thank you very, very much.